Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Ibrahim Traoré's era. Let me tell you, there is fire on the mountain. What's unfolding between Mali and France should not be brushed aside. Paris has just delivered a serious warning to Mali, declaring they are prepared to strike if their citizen is not released from their military custody. But for those of you who are new to this story, let me rewind so you fully understand how we got here and why France is threatening military action against Mali today. Just a few nights ago in Mali, a group of coup plotters attempted to overthrow Mali's president and shatter the AES alliance. Their plan was straightforward. They decided to strike quickly, strike decisively, and remove President Assimi Goïta from power before daybreak. According to Mali's Minister of Defense, General Daoud Aly Mohammedine, 50 men were involved in this operation, and every one of them has now been arrested. Among those captured were Malian army generals, men who had worn the nation's uniform for years, but betrayed their oath for the interests of foreign powers. And at the very core of this failed coup stood one man who has now become the face of treachery, a French citizen named Yann Vezilier. This individual was not just any outsider, he was working directly as an intelligence asset for French secret services. He moved quietly in the corridors of power, gathering information, spying, and laying the groundwork for the coup. His mission was to guide the coup from behind the curtain, provide strategies to the coup plotters, and make sure France's plan to destabilize Mali ran smoothly. General Daoud Aly Mohammedine revealed that this French agent left nothing to chance. He gave explicit instructions on how to launch the attack, which military units to neutralize first, how to seize the presidential compound, and at what moment to destroy communication lines so the government couldn't call for reinforcements. It was a classic operation straight out of the playbook of foreign regime change. But here's the twist. Long before the plan was activated, Malian intelligence had already seen the conspirators. So when the night of action came, instead of ambushing the president, the plotters themselves were the ones ambushed, surrounded, captured, and dismantled before they even left their barracks. By sunrise, the nation awoke to the news. The coup had collapsed. But make no mistake, this was not only a triumph for Mali, it was a warning shot for the entire AES and for Africa at large. When Mali's forces rounded up the suspects, they didn't just seize guns and maps. They seized encrypted devices, laptops, and piles of cash in CFA francs and euros. The real goldmine was in the electronics. Inside were emails, messages, and audio files that led straight back to French military and intelligence channels. And right in the middle of it all was Yann Vezilier, the Frenchman whose links to France's DGSE, their external intelligence agency, are now undeniable. General Daoud Aly Mohammedine didn't sugarcoat anything when he addressed the nation on TV. He stared directly into the camera and declared, "We have arrested a French national who came here to orchestrate the overthrow of our government. We know who sent him, we know his mission, and we know his backers." The era of French manipulation in Mali has ended. Within 72 hours of Vezilier's arrest, France responded, and their words were not soft. They were not diplomatic. They were a threat. France announced bluntly, "Yann Vezilier is not a spy. He is a French diplomat. His detention is illegal. Release him immediately." And to add fuel to the fire, they warned that if Mali refused, France would take measures to secure his freedom. In plain terms, "We will strike. We will use force. We will not watch our man rot in your custody." But Mali's government stood firm. On national TV, the administration of President Assimi Goïta fired back in response. "Yann Vezilier is not a diplomat. He is a spy. He is the mastermind of this coup attempt. He was caught red-handed, guiding traitors within our army to destabilize our country. He will face Malian justice. France can do whatever it wishes, but this man is not leaving." The rejection was final. The words were sharp, and the message was undeniable. From Bamako to Paris, shockwaves were felt. For the very first time, Mali told France to its face, "We don't care about your threats. We don't care about your anger. We don't care about your power. We are sovereign, and your spy will pay for his crimes." Analysts now say if France dares to strike, it will trigger a broader conflict, not just with Mali, but with the entire AES bloc. Remember their unwritten rule: if one of us is attacked, all of us respond. Should Paris attempt to rescue its agent, troops from Burkina Faso and Niger will immediately back Mali, and that is France's worst nightmare. Three nations in the Sahel, united, armed and prepared. So let's be clear. The capture of Yann Vezilier was not the conclusion of a coup attempt. It was the beginning of a standoff that could transform Africa's future. The Sahel is no longer asking for respect. It is demanding it. And if Paris dislikes it, well, Africa is ready. Within 2 days of the arrest, AES security chiefs gathered in Niamey, Niger. This wasn't some polite diplomatic forum. This was a war council. They studied intercepted communications, assessed troop positions, and reinforced border strategies. Every angle of French influence was mapped and dissected. Why? Because the bigger picture is clear. France's hold over its former colonies has been collapsing, but the AES alliance has become the single greatest threat to its survival. Why? Because unlike others, the AES isn't just talking sovereignty, it is enforcing it. They have expelled foreign soldiers, reclaimed resources, and built direct agreements without Europe pulling the strings. And for Paris, that is a nightmare beyond words. This attempted coup in Mali wasn't only about removing Assimi Goïta. It was a message meant to frighten Traoré in Burkina Faso and Chiani in Niger. But instead of fear, it sparked fire. Sources close to the Niamey meeting confirm that there is now an unspoken defense pact. If any AES member is targeted, internally or externally, the other two will unleash troops, drones, and weapons immediately. No waiting. No begging the UN. Instant retaliation. The symbolism is undeniable. The Sahel is no longer a playground. It is a fortress, and this coup attempt might be the last time France tries such games without bracing for serious blowback. But brothers and sisters, the unity here is bigger than military might. It sends a message to all of Africa. If we can unite here in the Sahel, you can unite anywhere. And that is what truly terrifies the West, an Africa that no longer just chants Pan-Africanism at conferences, but lives it in defense, in trade, and in sovereignty. The French playbook has always been the same. Destabilize, replace, control. They exploit division, back traitors, steal resources, and disguise it all as aid. But here's their problem. The AES has read the script cover to cover, and page by page they are burning it. This failed coup is proof. France has been pushed out militarily, cut off economically, and now even their spy networks are being dismantled in real time. The capture of Yann Vezilier, their DGSE asset, is not just a failure, it is a humiliation. Think about it. A French agent infiltrates Mali, conspires with generals, plots to topple a president, only to end up in handcuffs, paraded as evidence of France's last tricks. This isn't just defeat, this is public disgrace. And now Assimi Goïta, Ibrahim Traoré, and Abdourahmane Chiani are more united than ever. They've rooted out spies, secured their borders, strengthened their soldiers, and built a trust that many African nations envy. The AES today operates like one nation in matters of defense, a living nightmare for foreign powers that depend on African resources. France, once the master of West Africa, is now clinging to survival. Each failed attempt accelerates their downfall. Each humiliation strips away the fear that once kept African leaders obedient. The symbolism here cannot be overstated. The AES has shown that Africa can detect, confront, and defeat foreign plots without begging for UN peacekeepers or Western mediators. They've proven that sovereignty is not theory, it is practice. So ask yourself, do you believe Paris or do you believe Bamako? The era of silent obedience is finished. The Sahel has spoken, and the whole continent is listening. This is Ibrahim Traoré's era. Like and subscribe for more.